Good people, what's going on? Look, February 1st, man, Black History Month. Uh, there's always a lot of good dialogue each year, man. There's gonna be some fools gonna say some nonsense to combat Black History Month, of course, but overall, it's always you'll find some good conversation, man, and historic dialogue, and people will share different important moments in Black history, and there are a lot of important moments in Black history. Don't let that uh, the media tell you otherwise. Don't let when you see something about like the lower end of our culture, which every culture has a lower end that don't do everything they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So let's when you look past that, we see a history of black doctors and other black nurses and black lawyers and black entrepreneurs and black inventors and scientists, all these things, educators and things of that nature in this culture. People who blood transfusion, heart uh surgeries and contributing to all kind of arts and science with NASA. I mean, it's all there. You can do your research. And people say, "What have Black people contributed to America?" That list is super, super long. Outside of working for a few hundred years for free, basically, I'm not even getting all that. Outside of that, in spite of the Black communities built from Tulsa to Rosewood, Black Wall Streets all over the nation. Right here, I'm in North Carolina, Durham, and Wilmington, and we know what happened with some of those areas when people were upset about that. But nevertheless, all the great things we did now, of course, with the music. You know what I mean? We are the architects of American music, if we're being honest. I mean, of course, we're talking about jazz and rock and roll and country, leading up to the hip hop. And of course, we're talking about Motown and R&B and all that. Not too many types of music and genres of music we didn't originate. You know what I'm saying? We didn't create. I'm sorry. So, and that's another whole story for another day. If you really want to do the research deep enough, and you ain't got to go that deep, you'll see all that. Anyway, when it comes to hip hop, which I talk hip hop a lot. Well, I talk every genre, but today hip hop again. Um, and it being February, I thought it'd be a good idea this month to start having some conversations about some black consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Like within the music and songs and artists and albums that represent the black experience, man, and the black movement, the black culture, and all the things that revolve around that. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys enjoy some of the conversations I'm gonna have this month. I got a few people I'm gonna rock with and talk to, and we'll see, you know what I'm saying, if you guys enjoy. Today I want to talk about 12 albums, and I'm gonna leave some off. Let me preface this by saying there's gonna be some artists and some albums that's gonna be left off. Anytime, when the Dome do list, people say, well, what about so and so? Yes, some people will be missed, people. If I do any kind of list, some people gonna be missed. I'm doing a top 10, 20, 25, 30, what, even a top 50. The coach is over 52, 53 years old. I'm gonna miss some people that could easily be there. So don't ruin it by saying what's missed. Just appreciate the people you're gonna see on here. And there's gonna be some people you're gonna notice that's missed, and it's a reason why. Because some of them, I'm gonna do a part two of the misconception of conscious hip hop. Because there's certain artists that you think are conscious hip hop because of the way they dressed and the way they look. But if you actually dig deep into their lyrics, they weren't that conscious. They just looked conscious. You know what I'm saying? So that as well. But I'm gonna start at number 12, man. Paris, man. The Devil Made Me Do It. Now Paris had a couple of albums, and this was like 1990, I think, something like that. But Paris had a lot of socially charged songs and albums. But The Devil Made Me Do It is the one I picked right here because I feel like it was like his introduction as far as like an artist with a full album. I mean, it ended up selling pretty well. I think at some point it ended up selling over 300,000 copies, I think. But he had his own. He kind of looked like, reminded me of the DLC a little bit. But man, he was definitely part of that African medallion movement. You know what I'm saying? In hip hop, people don't realize there was a moment in time for about 3 or 4 years, even combating the West Coast gangster. Well, it was a lot of like very socially conscious and even Afrocentric groups. You know what I'm saying? So Paris, man, Devil Made Me Do It is one of those joints. that for me represents the black experience. When you're talking about, I want to say his initial album cover was controversial. Did it have like it had some police on there? Something it kind of remind me of like the Roots Things Fall Apart. They had several album covers. I think Paris, the initial one, was like him, like a black man getting like choked out or something by the police. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. I think they end up, I don't know if it was a record label or something like that. They couldn't use that one, so they had to end up having a picture of his face or something on that with Joe, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, that would be number 12 for me, man. The lyrics in it, the songs, it was definitely militant, you know what I'm saying, for sure. But that's just kind of how he was getting down, man. Very slept on MC, slept on artist, like I said, during a time when a lot of consciousness was going on, man. So I'll go there. 12, I'm gonna go with Eve by Rhapsody. You know, Rhapsody's album, first of all, it's potentially not sales wise, not popularity, excluding the Miseducation Lauryn Hill, which is hip hop, but also R&B, soul, reggae, jazz, everything. But outside of that, because I think that's an anomaly with Lauryn Hill, Eve as an album, first of all, is bigging up black women in the culture. What's more about that's the black female or woman, no disrespect, experience in America. She tackled that using each either an actual person or a figment or like a fixture on TV like Cleo, like you know what I mean, like Felicia Rashad type thing. But she used different prominent black women throughout American history, even like has something like Oprah, you know what I'm saying? And the way she broke down, you know what I'm saying, their vision, their life, her vision, everything. It's a conscious album, you know what I'm saying? It's a historic album. And really, even it being number 11, just for the sake of a list, it could be probably top 5 or 6 because of the vision in it. Man, the production was dope. Man, that's a great album. It's probably one of the greatest female rap albums ever. I might say a top 5 greatest female rap album ever. I think Eve could be that great. And in the context of this, the black experience knocks it out the park, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to NC Rhapsody right here from North Carolina, yo. 10, man, going to that era again, early 90s, late 80s, man. Brand Nubians, One for All. You know, obviously it was the conscience, the 5%, all of that stuff, the gods, you know what I'm saying? Like, definitely, man, Black Fist in the air for sure. But also having a song like Slow Down, not wanting black people to use drugs and stuff like that. Sunshine, man, just the consciousness, spiritual track, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, One for All also got 5 mics in the Source magazine, if I'm not mistaken, man. Just a great album, the jump up album by Brand Nubians. Of course, that was the one and only at that time. Well, it took a long time for Greg Pooper left after that album. You know what I'm saying? So after that, they ended up having like several albums without Pooper, and then they came back with Foundation back in like 98, and Pooper came back. You know what I'm saying? I also saw them in concert with Pooper and everything back in the day. Very dope live show from the Brand Nubians. But One for All, man, spiritual consciousness. You know what I'm saying? It gave you the feeling of like the Nation of Islam, you know what I'm saying? Like also Black Panther vibes. I mean, it was one of those albums, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely one of those albums. I'm gonna go 9, Mos Def, Black on Both Sides. It's a conscious album. I mean, it gives you, you know what I'm saying, a forecast on the black community, the good and the bad of the black community, you know what I mean? Because it's one track he talking about get got. Don't, you know, don't get me, you know what I'm saying? You got me, you know, showing off in the community can get you robbed, you know what I'm saying? That New World Order, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, talking about, you know, government type situations, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's Mos Def for me. Black on Both Sides is one of those albums where if somebody came to me and didn't know much about hip hop, and I had to give 5 albums to describe hip hop, you know what I'm saying, introduce them to hip hop, Black on Both Sides would be one of the albums I think would be perfect for that, because I think it's a perfect rap album. You know what I'm saying? But I do think it hits so many different aspects of black culture and black life in America, man. Like, he did it all, man. You know what I'm saying? He touched it all. I'll go now. Number 8. I'm gonna go with Arrested Development debut album, man. That joined 3 years, 5 months, 2 days, and a life of. You think about everyday people, man. What's more black than that? I am everyday people. Probably one of the greatest songs. And, Arrested Development is a hip hop group. Let me say a hip hop group. Also got some alternative vibes to them as well. You know what I'm saying? So they're not just rap. They got some alternative, and maybe they would say a little different. Maybe they consider themselves strictly hip hop, or maybe they consider themselves just a group that does hip hop music, but also other vibes as well. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That'd be something that I wouldn't mind asking them. But yeah, everyday people, Tennessee, Mr. Wonder. I mean, it is an album for the consciousness, man. You know what I'm saying? Like for the black experience, Southern black, you know what I'm saying? As far as like the life of us down south, which in essence, and I know some people don't want to hear this, everybody's essentially from down south if you're black. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, from slavery to now, people migrated to the north and to the west. You know what I'm saying? Like my family originally from like Georgia and all this stuff like that. I'm more North Carolina than the other half of my whole family are in New York. I never talk about that on hip hop Twitter, but yes, my family was Georgia, North Carolina, and New York. I still got a whole bunch of cousins in Brooklyn and Queens, Manhattan, and all that. I just don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I go up there still. You know what I mean? I've been going to New York since I was a youngster. You know what I'm saying? But y'all wouldn't know that. And I've been to all your famous clubs in New York. I did all that. Some of y'all ain't did all that down south. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have this wide perspective. But nevertheless, nevertheless, you know, that Arrested Development joint is very, very dope. You know what I'm saying? And they hit everything, man. You know what I'm saying? They hit everything. So what can I say? You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's a beautiful album, and it definitely represents. It's a Black History Month album. Now I'm gonna go down to number 7, K. Dot, To Pimp a Butterfly. Now, really, this is not necessarily a greatest list of these albums. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not ranked like that. If I was ranking albums to talk about the Black experience and things like that, I probably would rank To Pimp a Butterfly the top 3 or 4. I said before on X that To Pimp a Butterfly is this era's It Takes a Nation a Million to me. When I think about was that institutionalized, whatever, all right, Black in the Berry, Mama, More Than Man, How Much a Dollar Costs, Complexion. It's a brilliant album. One of the greatest rap albums of all time. Each passing year, for me, if I do a new list of greatest albums, which I need to do another updated now anyway, it will start ranking really high. I mean, it's a fantastic body of work, and it touched blackness, Black history at its finest, man. At its finest. Like 6 for me is Public Enemy's Fear of a Black Planet, their third album. Man, when you come out with Yo Bum Rush the Show, and it's a dope album, it's conscious and political and all of this stuff like that, Afro set, whatever. Then you come with Take a Nation a Million, which I think is the greatest rap album of all time. You're not thinking that. You think, are they going to slow down? You know what I'm saying? Then you come back with Fear of Black Planet, and it's critically acclaimed and 5 stars and all this. And you got, Fight the Power is one of the signature songs of hip hop to me. And Fight the Power video for the Malcolm X movie. I mean, it had you really the medallions, it had you Black Fist, it had you really proud to be Black in America. And that's what Chuck D and Public Enemy did, man. So shout out to them and the Bomb Squad, man. But yeah, I mean, 911 is a joke. How many times have we discussed police injustice, police brutality, and even just not even want to call 911? It's like, man, well, we might need them. They might come and steal our racist and shoot us. You know what I'm saying? People used to think after the 60s and after those black and white films of the police, the dogs, the water on men, women, and children, and all this stuff was BS. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's old now. We passed all that. They don't happen anymore. It was still happening as far as like brutality never stopped. When they took to early 90s to that Rodney King beatdown and everybody saw that video and it's like, oh, okay. It never stopped. Eazy-E and all them talked about this on MTV one time. Like, that always happens. Y'all just finally saw it on tape. That happens here in LA all the time. We know the LAPD, NYPD, and some of the other big departments, the corruption. We know that. We know about the Rampart scandal. We ain't got to go all there. Nevertheless, That's why 911 is Jokers is such an important song of black culture also. Like I said, of course, Fight the Power is, you know what I mean? But that's what they did with Fear of Black Planet, man. Brilliant album from Public Enemy. That was at 6'5". I got Dead Prayers, man. Let's Get Free. Now, look, Dead Prayers is pretty much from the umbrella of the Brand Nubians. If I'm not mistaken, Lord Jamar discovered them and produced this album. Makes sense. They got songs in there called Psychology, you know what I mean? They got songs about not just militant, because they are militant. Dead Prayers is militant, you know what I'm saying? But, and I wish Dead Prayers would have produced Nas Hip Hop Is Dead, well, nigga album. Not Hip Hop Is Dead, the nigga album. They ended up being called Untitled. I wish they would have produced that album, because I want to say Stickman did one song on the nigga mixtape with Nas, Association. You know what I'm saying? Check that out, Association. But nevertheless, Let's Get Free was just, even the revolution on the album cover. But the songs are not like I said, it had the militant tone, black consciousness, of course, how to eat, therapy, like what kind of therapy we need, not necessarily speaking to a therapist, but what we need for black people for our own mental health type thing. It addressed everything in black life on Let's Get Free. It's a brilliant album. Both cats are lyrical beasts. The production was dope. Man, Let's Get Free is a great album, man. Of course, that's the one album they got song Hip Hop is Bigger Than Hip Hop. Boom, 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 you know, all that dope joints. 4 I got, man, Ice Cube, The Death Certificate. Now, you know it's real when the album cover is basically Uncle Sam in the morgue, you know what I'm saying, with a toe tag on it. That's why Ice Cube was coming with it, man. You know what I'm saying? Coming off America's Most Wanted, which is gonna have gangster and militant, same with Death Certificate. You know, of course, America's Most Wanted, again, was influenced and produced by the Bomb Squad, you know what I'm saying? Public Enemy, Chuck D, the Chocolate Brother, etc. Death Certificate went back on a West Coast flavor, but still militant in its own right. You know, so you gotta remember, Ice Cube still, you know, had left NWA. They were gangster conscious with Straight Outta Compton. You think about Express Yourself and Fuck the Police and, you know, all the stuff like that. So they was on that already. You know, so Ice Cube just did that version solo. You know what I'm saying? Addressed racism in America, laws in America that not favorable for black people, and just, again, another one of those albums where he really examined the black experience, man, in his own gangster way. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, it was a lot of consciousness on that. And it was also doing a run by Ice Cube that was monumental. You know what I'm saying? Like, just coming out the bat with these kind of projects with America Most Wanted, Death Certificate, you know, the Kill at Will, the Lethal Injection, you know, Predator. He had consciousness on all those albums though, but Death Certificate is the one. Now, 3, I'm gonna go to the Black Star album, Most Definitely Talib Kweli Black Star album, man. 1998. You know, 1998 is one of the slept on. It's not so slept on now, but it's one of the greatest years in hip hop to me. Top 7, 8 year, maybe higher. And what they did on that album, of course, they talk about the the Black Star. Was that not the ship line for Marcus Garvey? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's how you started off, dog. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the name of your group, Black Star. You know what I'm saying? And of course, what they did solo, monumental with different projects, whether it's Train of Thought, Reflection, Eternal with Talib Kweli, High Tech, and, you know, Most Def, Black on Both Sides, what I talked about a few minutes ago. But the Black Star album, I mean, even a song like Brown Skin Lady, man, like talking about the beauty of the brown skin lady. I mean, this is Black History Month, right? The beauty for black women, you know what I'm saying? But just, I mean, don't get me wrong, they hit the essence of hip hop, which is essentially as a black experience as well, throughout this album. Of course, they was spitting rhymes about the government, spitting rhymes about the community, spitting rhymes about laws and things like that. That's what you expect from them, because they had been doing their thing, like Lyricist Lounge and stuff like that. So you start happening anyway, leading up to this album and the way they was rhyming. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime you heard them on something, you know, it's kind of like the Little Brothers of Native Tongue. You know what I mean? Before the rap group Little Brothers, shout out to North Carolina. Before that, Most Definitely Talib would have been like the younger brothers of the whole Native Tongue movement. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't have Native Tongues on this list. That's going to be for another episode for me to talk about a few Native Tongue albums that are conscious and some that aren't conscious. Some of the Native Tongue MCs that are conscious and some of the Native Tongue MCs that aren't conscious. And some of it is going to surprise you, because I think I'm coming at it from a perspective a lot of people don't think about. You know what I'm saying? But and I had a conversation with an industry guy about this about a year ago, and I don't know if he's gonna be able to jump on a particular episode. Maybe he will, but he's somebody pretty known in the industry. We had a private conversation, and he agreed with everything I said to the point where he hit me back and called me back like, bro, I didn't never really look at it like that, but that's real, and so maybe that'll come this month too. But yeah, the Black Star album, man, 1998, fabulous. Number two, It Takes a Nation of Millions to hold us back, man. I mean, Black still in the hour of chaos, man. We're not talking about injustice. You know what I'm saying? Like, the songs on the album as a whole, the production, the vision, the focus, the power behind Chuck D's voice throughout the album. It Takes a Nation of Million. What does that mean? I mean, you can't hold us back. Throughout, we persevered through history. We persevered through slavery. We persevered through black codes. We persevered through Reconstruction. We persevered through 80s drug laws that was not favorable for the black people. We persevered through the KKK. We persevered through J. Edgar Hoover administration. We persevered through all of these things in American history. The list is very long of the injustice, the brutality with police, the terrible laws, you know what I'm saying, atrocities that the jurors, the judge, and the lawyers all were against black people. You know what I'm saying? All of these things that we persevere over and through were all kind of on display on It Takes a Nation of Million, man. I mean, it just touched black life, black consciousness, the black experience, like I said earlier. And again, they got two albums on my top 12, man. You know, you got Fear of Black Planet and you got to Take a Nation of Millions, man. Just throw that in. Recently, I posted a clip of the video Black Still in the Hour of Chaos. Again, it's one of my favorite rap songs, one of my favorite rap videos. And shout out to Chuck D. You know what I'm saying? And also, of course, my profile picture, you guys see on X, Chuck D did that for me, man. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Chuck, man. That was an honor, man. And I used that, and he hit me one time, like, man, you know, you can take it down. You have to feel obligated. No, I ain't stop about obligation, bro. My profile picture is one of the guys that I looked up to coming up in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And I've been around a long time. So that's an honor, man. So shout out to that, man. But yeah, Take a Nation of Millions, bro. I don't need to say nothing else about that. Now it comes down to the guys you see in my screen behind me. The X Clan. 1990 album To the East Blackwards. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is blacker than the X Clan. You know what I'm saying? Nobody represented, look, you know what? Black pride, African pride, cultural pride, being very blunt and open about their perspective on American politics, politicians, religion, atrocities that we can name 1,000 of them, but yet we still got our heads held high. Grand Verbalizer, what time is it? You know what I'm saying? Like the song In the Ways of the Scale. Put that on YouTube, In the Ways of the Scale by the X Clan, man. This album, for me, is the blackest album in hip hop history. To the East Blackwards, man, the X Clan. You know what I'm saying? Like Brother J would just say Brother J, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to that, man. You know, shout out to what they stood for and what they represented. You know what I'm saying? What can you say, man? You know, all you gotta do is do your research on the X Clan, and then you realize why certain other people you think will be on this list. Nah, really, everything the X Clan ever did could be on this list because everything they did was about blackness. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you don't even have to. I could just did an X Clan list of their songs because that was their focus 100% of the time. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? All of these guys are there again. I got Paris at number 12. I got Rhapsody at number 11. I got Brand Newman's at 10. I got Mos Def at 9. I got Arrested Development at 8. I got K Dot at 7. I got PE Fear of Black Planet at 6. Dead Prayers, Let's Get Free at 5. Death Certificate at 4. Black Star Album at 3. PE Takes a Nation of Million at 2. And I got the X Clan at 1. Now again, let me preface this. It's not necessarily an order outside of X Clan. X Clan number one. They're the blackest, and they represent the black experience probably more than anybody. But everything else you can. It's not really an order because there's a couple. Fear of Black Planet, for example, is more politically charged and probably more socially conscious towards blacks than Death Certificate. Even though Death Certificate does, Ice Cube does it in his own way. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say about that, man. Any other albums you guys think are ones that really represent the black experience in America, really would be something good to talk about during Black History Month? In the artists that come to mind that represent this, I know some people gonna probably say, well, a Tupac album, for example. You know what I mean? Which one would that be? Because the thing with Tupac was most of his albums would still be half and half, like half gangster, half he did have some conscious joints on there. If you think about Machiavelli, got a White Man World on there. You know what I'm saying? But he got Blasphemy, stuff like that. Or Mill Against the World, yes, it's a socially conscious album. Mill Against the World is a socially conscious album, but it still has some gangster joints on there too. That would probably be his most socially conscious one, probably. So Trap is on Tupac list now. Brenner's Got a Baby, was representing a real story, and with Mahomes. Tupac is now Strictly for My Niggas does have songs on there like that. I think Mill Against the World put it all together. I don't know if I'm ready to. Mill Against the World, I guess, would be socially conscious to a degree because you got the title track, Mill Against the World. You got So Many Tears on there. Death Around the Corner could be considered something because it's still a song about this kind of paranoid, kind of living in a certain community and you get being scared. So you see the death around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like that, unfortunately, it's still part of Black experience. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the social, economic factors of that particular area you live in. You know what I'm saying? So Lord knows it's like praying for a better day from that struggle. So I guess Mill Against the World would be one that would be on a list like this. Like if this was a top 15, top 20 list, then I guess I would add a Pac album on there, and that would be Mill Against the World. And again, there are others. Latifah has an album or two that could be considered. There's some other people. Common. You can look at a lot of the tracks on like Water for Chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Black America again. So there's other albums, but those 12 stood out to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm gonna leave it at, man. Again, February 1st. Oh yeah, happy birthday to Big Boy. You know what I'm saying? I saw his post and then I had to repost with that his opening lines from his verse when y'all scared. Because he said 1974, my birthday. That the video, I can't remember the rhyme, but anyways, pardon me, Big Boy. I can't remember the rhyme right now off the top of my head, but I listed the rhyme over top of his picture, man. So happy birthday to Big Boy, one of the most underrated MCs in hip hop history from the GOAT group Outkast. I'm not gonna debate that. I said they're the greatest rap group. It is what it is. You might be able to consider Aquemini real quick when you think about some of the songs on Aquemini. It's kind of has a social conscious feel on several of the tracks on there. You know what I'm saying? So you can consider that too. And again, there's others as well, man. But anyway, don't want to hold you too much longer, man. Appreciate your time. Happy Black History Month to everyone. And see you another episode in a few days, man. We're gonna keep this conversation going, man. Peace.